Today, I'm going to quickly go through a short demonstration on things to consider when you're a team owner or an owner of a team inside of Microsoft Teams. So after your team has been created from either your IT department or one of your administrators, you can come in, and what you will see is when you click on the team here, you'll see the general channel. Now, for all intents and purposes, the general channel is the team site's audit log. So you'll notice there are minimal things that you can change or edit or hide or tweak in regards to the general channel. And that is, again, because it's the audit log. So if there's ever an issue with anything and we need to pull logs or gather data, this is how we do that. So that is why some of which things that you can make changes to are limited, and also why you cannot delete or edit the general channel. So when you get your team site created as an owner, the first thing you have to do is come in, and if you click on the three dots off to the right hand side of the root level, which is the top level, you can see you can manage your team. You can add channels because, like I said, you're only going to have the general channel, and then it's up to you to go in and add additional channels for the different work streams relevant to that team site. It's also up to you to add the members to that team. You can technically change the name, but I do not recommend editing the team name just because it might throw some things off on the back end with Active Directory. So if you ever need to change the name, maybe talk to your IT team, and that way they can make sure everything's changed without causing any issues. So let's first add a team member. It's very easy, and you'll see multiple different ways that you can add people to a team. I just did it from the ellipses on the right-hand side. So I'm going to add Deborah. I'm going to add Nestor. So these are the 4 folks I want to add to the team. So 3 of the members already existed. This was a demo team that I had used somewhere else, but this person was not. So what you'll see here is it shows Jordan as a member. So I can close this. I can also come in here and add a channel. So I want to add a channel name. Let's see. We'll add a permits channel. I do want that to show up for everybody that is in this team site, so I'm going to check that box. It's a standard channel. It's going to be accessible to everybody in the team. So you'll notice here is my permits channel. Also, as a team owner, if you click on the 3 dots here, you can go to Manage Team. This is where you can see all of your members. So let's kind of unpack that a little bit. Here's the members, guests and owners of my team. It is the best practice to at least have 2 owners. 2's company, 3's a crowd. So you can have multiple owners, but the more owners you have, just keep in mind that they have full access to the entire team site. So they can delete the team, all of the content. They can remove people, add people. Again, they have full access. So just make sure whoever you're giving that owner functionality to, that they are in fact needed to be an owner. And then you can always change this. So later, if Nestor needs to be a member, I just click on that arrow drop down and make him a member. And then I actually want to switch it out. Now Deborah's going to be the new owner with me. So that's as easy as that to upgrade people and move them around from owner to team member. It's also very simple to remove people. So you can come in here. I want to remove Alyssa. She was not intended to be a member of this team. She's moved on to another group, and now I've removed her by clicking on the X here. The pending request, oh, one thing. So you can also add members here, just as you could add them over here on the 3 dots. You can also, when you're in the manage team section, you can add them here. You can create tags. What tags are is if you wanted to create a special @mention, like group name for people. If you had a couple of executives or managers and you wanted to do a manager's tag and associate 2 or 3 leaders within that tag, you could do that. That's what tags are. So pending request, if a team member goes in here and clicks on the 3 dots and chooses to add a member, it will allow them to basically request that person to be added to the team. So they don't get approved by default. An owner still has to approve it. But if a team member goes in here and chooses add member, then those requests come into the pending request here, and the owners get an email notification, and then they can come in here and approve it or deny it. Channels, pretty straightforward. As an owner, you can come in and see any channels that have been deleted. You can see all of the active channels, if they are visible to you or to everyone else, and the activity. You can also come in here and add a new channel directly from here. So just as I created the channel earlier for permits over here by add channel, I did the other one through the manage team, and it shows up here as well. So true Microsoft form will give you multiple ways to do the same thing, depending on your preference. Settings, this is where you can come in, you can upload a team picture. So if you want it to show differently here, you can update the team picture or add a logo. Here's where you can adjust member permissions. This is what the members of this team are permitted or are not permitted to do. Everything you're going to see here is our default settings, but if you didn't want team members to be able to create, update, or remove tags, if you had private channels, for example, turned on in your organization, you could choose to not allow members to create private channels, only owners. So if you uncheck those boxes, it will then honor those settings. Guest permissions are external folks. So maybe you have engineers or vendors that you work with all the time and you need to collaborate with them. If they are a guest, here's where you can give them some additional permissions. We have those turned off by default because we want you to choose what your guests outside of your tenant are permitted to do. @mentions, this is just some options you have for @mentions within a team site. The team code, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I need a code to join your team, you could choose generate here. It would give the code, and then I will actually show you in a moment how to use that code. Fun stuff, if you want to turn off Giphies, stickers, memes, any of those things, you can. And then here are the tags and who can manage tags. And those were the items I mentioned earlier around creating specific @mention functionality. Analytics, this is just the basic analytics for the team. It's going to show you what kind of engagement, how many people are in here, how many apps you have configured, if you have any replies, if you have any active users. This is a team site that I just created, so my analytics are very bare. And then apps, this is the apps that you have configured or turned on or used inside of your team site. That in a nutshell is some specifics to how you can, as a team owner, go in and adjust your settings. And again, you click on the 3 dots and go to Manage Team. And that really should be the first thing you do as an owner when you get a team site created, is go in, configure the settings and the channels and all of that, and then start adding your members, add you an owner or two, and then go forth and create your team site for collaboration. As I mentioned with the code earlier, on the join and create team down here, 98% of you are not going to have the ability to create a new team. Most IT admins turn that off and have to allow for specific governance. But the code, this will be here for everyone. So if someone says, I want to be a member of your team, can you send me a code so I can join it? You could click and paste the code in there and join the team. And that's what it would look like for those users. It would allow them to join and it would take them right into it. That does conclude this short video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good day.